Welcome back to Wetbrain Cheek's Invitational podcast, where I, your host, Dean Doyle, consistently put the facts, data, statistics to the back burner and take an absolute age to release new episodes. But as anyone who listens to the main podcast would know, I have 2 kids and a full-time job. While we're currently in what continues to be game week 24, we should probably, due to my laziness, have a look back at game week 22 and 23 briefly. Game week 22 saw lots of green and red arrows across the board. Dan Redmond, Adam Kennedy and Trev creeping around with some green arrows, while Rory Ford caught a generational red arrow to move to 4th. Moving up to 5th in game week 22 was Bino Faulkner with 44 points. 6th, Sean Faulkner with 52. Moving down to 7th was Derek Carey. Up, Keith McMahon. Down to 9th, Stephen Ward. Up to 10th, Michael Rooney. Down to joint 10th, Graham Thomas. Paul Grant stays in 12th. Dean Doyle stays in 13th. Josh and Oni Higgs 14th and 15th, and Rob Faulkner moves down to bottom last, baby. Moving on to game week 23, we saw Dan Redmond retain the top spot, while Sean Faulkner burst into 2nd with a whopper 82 points. Trev stayed 3rd, while arch nemesis Derek Carey moved within spitting distance in 4th. 1 point separating the both of them in game week 23. Most notably though is the outrageous red arrows for Adam Kennedy moving from 2nd and to 6th, and Rory with another red arrow bringing him from 4th to 8th. Holy moly. In the midst of all this, little old me went from 13th to 10th, while Owen and his cousin Josh battled it out in the relegation zone. That's kind of it for game week 22 and 23. It's a lot. I haven't done my research on game week 24 really, because it's not over. But because it's not over, I'm reluctant to do really much about it. Although if you had Chris Wood or if you had Salah triple captain, you're sucking diesel. A lot of people played the David Moyes assistant manager chip, I noticed, and one or two had slot as well. So it'll actually be an interesting one to put out into a podcast, because there's so much different things going on. I will say that I played my triple captain, and yeah, well, once the game week is over, which is after next week, after all the League Cup and FA Cup games and we will get on it. Until then though, I'm not going to say there isn't, but there is quite possibly new Wetbrain Cheeks on the way next week. So yeah, and this is my first time doing one of these video things, so be gentle, be nice to me.
Wetbrain Cheeks.
Peace out.